40/24, priority 1, wait 100, interface lisp 0, IP PIM sparse mode, and then IP PIM RP, for example, address is 192.168.254.10. Okay, and the last router is router 5. This is the router 5. enconf host name is msmr. Then we have 4 interface: eth00, eth01, eth02, and eth03. I configured the IP address of 10.155 on the eth00. I configured the IP address of 10.255/24 on the eth01. I configured 10.355 on the eth02, this interface, and then 10.455/24 on the eth03. Now we have one new interface. Let me to add this interface. The interface, for example, eth10, as you can see, and then the IP address of this interface is 10, for example, 5, then 10, again 5, 255, 255, 2550, IP OSPF network point to point, no shutdown. Also, we have one loopback interface, quad 5, quad 255. Router OSPF 1, router ID is quad 5, network 10.155, quad 0, area 0, network 10.255, quad 0, area 0, 10.355, quad 0, area 0, and finally 10.455, quad 0, area 0. Let me to add one new network statement, 10.5, 10.5, okay, 10.5, 10.5, quad 0, area 0, and then network quad 5, quad 0, area 0. That's it. Here we have the configuration of the R5 router LISP, IPv4 map server, IPv4 map resolver, site 1, authentication key Cisco, EID prefix is 192.168.10/24, site 2, site 2, authentication key Cisco again, EID prefix is 192.168.20/24, and after that the site 3 authentication key again is Cisco, EID prefix is the 192.168.30/24. After that the site 4 authentication key Cisco, and EID prefix is 192.168.40/24. Let me to add one new site. This is the site of the RP. We can call it site 5. Authentication key is Cisco, EID prefix is 192.168.254, for example 10. Only one IP address /32. Okay. And also we need to configure the router 10. Let me to copy the configuration of the, for example, router 4, and after some change we can use it for the router 10. This is the configuration of the router 10 here. Okay, R10. Let me to write here. This is the R10 configuration. So easy. enconf host name is, for example, let me to use RP. Okay, IP multicast routing, and then interface eth00's IP address is 10.5.10.10. Okay, 10.5.10.10 255 255 255.0. After that, IP OSPF network point to point, no shutdown, interface loopback 0. The IP address of this loopback 0 is quad 10, quad 255. Then here we don't have interface ETH01, but we have interface loopback 0. We have interface loopback 1, for example. Okay, the IP address of this interface is 192.168.254, for example 10, quad 255, and then the command that we can enable on this interface is IP PIM sparse mode, and after that no shutdown. Okay, we don't need no shutdown. Let me to remove it. Router OSPF 1, router ID is quad 10, and then let me to add network 10.5, for example 10.10, quad 0, area 0, and after that network 10.10.10.10, quad 0, area 0, and after that we have router LISP command, IPv4 ITR, IPv4 ETR, IPv4 ITR map resolver quad 5, IPv4 ETR map server quad 5 key Cisco, then database mapping for 192.168.254.10, okay, /32, with the priority of the, with the RLOOK of the quad 10, with the priority of 1 and weight of the 100. Okay, and then interface loopback 0, IP PIM sparse mode, and finally IP PIM RP address 192.168.254.10. About the server and PC2 and PC3 and PC4, we don't have any change, but let me to review the configuration of the server. This is the server host name, server no IP routing, interface ETH00's IP address is 192.168.110/24, no shutdown, and also I configure default gateway on this server, IP default gateway 192.168.1.1. That's it. About the PC2, again, we have the same configuration, PC3 and also the PC4. Okay, let me to copy this configuration from the router 1 to the, for example, router 10. After that, step by step, we can verify the result. First, this is the configuration of R1, one of the XTRs. Let me to copy this configuration here. This is the R1 CLI without any, here we don't have any configuration. Okay, so easy. After that, let me to configure the router 2. This is the router 2's configuration. Okay, copy and then pasting on the R2 CLI. Very good. After that, we need to configure the router 3. This is the router 3's configuration. Copy and paste here on the CLI. As you can see, we didn't receive any error message. Very good. And this is the router 4 configuration. Let me to copy the configuration of R4. And here, this is the copy. And then we can paste it on the router 4. Again, okay. And then the router 5, let me to configure the router 5. This is the CLI and this is the R5 configuration. Let me to select it. Okay, copy. And then paste on the R5. So easy. After that, let me to copy the last router, the router 10. This is the RP, the new router. This is the configuration of the router 10. Copy and paste on the router 10 CLI. Let me to check it. Okay, very good. Again, we don't have any error message here. And then we need to configure the, for example, server. This is the server configuration. Copy and paste on the server. Okay, and then the PC2, this PC, let me to copy the configuration of the PC2 from here, and now we can paste it on the PC2. After that, the PC3, this is the PC3's configuration. Copy this configuration. Okay, and then pasting on the PC3, so easy. And after that, the PC4 configuration. Okay, this is the PC4 configuration. Copy. And then we can paste it on the, for example, PC4 CLI. It's so easy. Okay, now we can check everything. For example, let me first check the R5 LISP site. Look at here. This is the MS and MR. You know it. Show LISP site can show us the status of the different sites. Site 1 to site 5. As you can see, in each site we have one registered EID 192.168.10 registered with the 10.151, the router 1, 192.168.20 registered from the site 2, it's okay, and 192.168.30/24 registered with router 3, and 192.168.40/24 registered with router 4, and finally the 192.168.254.10 registered with the for example router 10. This is the RP, you know it. If you want to see the process, you can capture one of the links, for example the link between the R1 and R5, and also we can capture the link between the R3 and also R5. Let me first to capture the link between the router 3 and router 5. This is the capture of the ETH00, and after that I'm going to join the PC3s, okay, to the 226.1.1.1 group. Let me to configure the PC3. This is the PC3. Look at here. We can configure interface ETH00 with this command, IPIGMP, okay, join group, then 226, for example, 111. That's it. It's so easy. And after this command, as you can see, we have one PIM join message from the, this is the encapsulated PIM join message, LISP encapsulated PIM join message from the router 3 to the router 10. Look at here. First, we received this PIM join message with the source IP of the 192.168.33 to 224.0.0.13. This is the IP multicast address of the PIM, reserved multicast address of the PIM, and this packet encapsulated to the router 10. The reason is that the R3, okay, learned about the R3 has the or look of the router 10. Look at here. You know that we configured IP PIM RP address, and then the the RP address is 192.162.5.4.10. The R3 asked from the MR, and MR gives this question to